I never thought I'd be the kind of guy whose entire world falls apart in the blink of an eye. Yet here I am, sitting in a tiny apartment that smells like stale coffee and old regrets, wondering how everything went so wrong. I was married for 15 years to Sarah. We had 2 kids, Emily, who just turned 13, and Josh, my 10-year-old bundle of energy. They were my life. Or so I thought. Sarah and I met in college. She was the girl who laughed a lot and loved life. I was the serious guy, studying late nights and dreaming of a stable future. Somehow we clicked. Everyone said we were the perfect match. And for a long time, we were. But the cracks started showing a few years ago. At first, it was small things. Sarah stayed out late for work events, her phone always on silent, secretive texts that disappeared when I walked in the room. I told myself it was nothing, that I was being paranoid. One night, I came home early from work. I wanted to surprise her. The house was too quiet. Upstairs, I heard laughter. Not Sarah's light, familiar giggle. A deeper laugh I recognized instantly. It was Mike's. Mike, my brother. My heart stopped. I crept upstairs, hands shaking. I opened our bedroom door and saw them. Sarah and Mike, tangled up in the sheets, laughing like nothing was wrong. I just stood there, frozen. Sarah's eyes widened. "Please, don't hate me," she whispered. Mike stammered out excuses, but I didn't want to hear any of it. I left, sat on the stairs, feeling like my world was collapsing. In the days that followed, everything fell apart. Sarah begged for forgiveness, saying it was a mistake. Mike apologized, saying he didn't mean to hurt me. But I couldn't forgive. Not then. Worse, Sarah started turning the kids against me. She told Emily I was always angry, that I didn't care about her. To Josh, she said I was mean and absent. My parents? They told me to forgive her, to keep the family together. One night, I found texts between Sarah and Mike plotting how to keep me away from the kids. I felt betrayed by my wife, my brother, and even my own family. Months passed. I moved out. We fought in court for custody. Sarah painted me as a villain. My kids were confused and scared. Emily told me she didn't want to see me anymore. That shattered me. But Josh still called me dad, running into my arms every chance he got. That gave me hope. This story isn't just about betrayal. It's about losing everything you thought you had and trying to pick up the pieces. I don't know how it ends. Maybe it never will. But I'm still here, fighting, hoping. Got it. Here's the second half, expanded with short internal dialogues, flashes of absurdity, and drawn-out pacing so it mirrors your original style and rhythm while keeping the drama. Sometimes I think the worst is behind me. Then something else happens, and I realize there's still a basement under rock bottom. A year after the divorce, I'd learned to live with the empty evenings. Learned to breathe in an apartment that smelled of instant noodles and dust. Learned to talk to the walls, because at least they didn't argue back. Work, sleep, the occasional call from Josh. That was my loop. Emily's laugh still echoed in my head sometimes. Not the real one, but the one I kept replaying like a scratched record. She'll come back. She has to. Or maybe she won't. Stop lying to yourself. One evening, my phone lit up with a call from Tom, an old friend from the neighborhood. "I just saw Sarah and Mike," he said. "With the kids. Looked happy. Happy." The word hit me like a cheap punch in a bad movie. I pictured Emily holding my brother's hand. That's not his hand to hold. And then, absurdly, I wondered if Mike ever used my old aftershave. Does betrayal smell like cedarwood? I tried to fight. Hired lawyers. Wrote statements. Sat in courtrooms that smelled of paper and defeat. They shuffled my life into folders, as if reducing me to a stack of documents could make me easier to erase. The judge listened, but never once looked me in the eye. Then, one afternoon, a miracle, or maybe just a crack in the clouds. Josh ran into my arms during a custody handoff. His little arms squeezed me with a force that could have broken ribs. "Dad, I know you're not bad," he whispered. And for the first time in months, I didn't feel like a ghost. I still haven't seen Emily. Over a year now. But every night before I fall asleep, I imagine her walking through my door. Sometimes she's 13. Sometimes she's 5 again, running with a messy ponytail. Once, absurdly, she showed up in a spacesuit in my dream and said, "Mission complete, Dad." I woke up crying. Maybe she'll come back. Maybe she won't. But I'll be here, waiting, even if it takes a lifetime.